Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We've got live tournament action coming at you right now. We'll be on GSL's Antigua Shipyard, ChitaPrime, and Zabro. A good old PvT coming at you guys. We do have Windy on the line as well. Windy, how you doing, man?
Fantastic, man. How are you doing, man?
Doing real well. I was super pleased with that, with our previous match that we got to see ChitaPrime, take down SC Slayer, which I think he did in phenomenal shape.
He decimated him.
Oh, he did, and he just shows so much strength. Now Zabro, same thing. He took out Maddie in a TVT. Now that is not an easy chore. So I mean, we've got two very, very impressive players coming up here. Who's your favorite to win here, moving in? Just out of curiosity.
I haven't seen Cheetah play enough. I've casted Zabro and I severely underestimated him, and for that, he has my deepest appreciation and respect because he's a very good Terran. He's very solid. He's very crisp about what he's doing. He's very smart decision making. Even that one game, that TVT, where he threw down that mule to get that vision, smart decision making, on the fly decision making. It looks like he wants to pause, and I'm not sure reason there, but
yeah, I'm not sure either. But did you know there's one thing you can do while you're paused,
which is
zoom in. Try it. With your mouse roller?
Oh, I have that turned off.
Oh, you have it turned off.
Yeah, that's cool, though. I did not know that.
I always like to point that out when we're on our serious pause action.
You can also, if you were to put it on my vision, and I were to tilt the camera in a different direction, you can actually tilt it further in a direction that's not normally possible.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, click, are you on my vision?
Well, we'll do it another time.
Yeah.
That does sound like fun, though.
You could do a GSL-style intro, in a position that's not even available. Zabro is walling off. No gas, though, yet. Let's see if this will be the moment he throws down gas to see if he's going to be any kind of 1-1-1 or if it's going to be a one-rack expand. And given the fact no gas yet, definitely going to say one-rack gasless expand out of him.
Yeah, I'll have to agree on that. No gas tends to mean no tech. Yep. Now, Zabro, though, the one interesting thing about Zabro is, number one, he's a GM player on the European server. And number two, he is quite a wild card when it comes down to it. I've seen him go for one base all in, sometimes a two base all in. I've seen him go for some crazy macro games, and sometimes they don't necessarily make sense to me when he's doing it. I'm like, what is he trying to do here? But he pulls out some of the craziest builds. Where ChitaPrime, while he does have some pretty interesting builds as well, none of them are actually striking.
Like going Nexus first in Antigua Shipyard.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I love Nexus first, dude. I think it is one of the best plays as a Protoss player.
Versus Terran?
Oh, yeah absolutely.
I agree. It's considered cheese among a lot of people, which is kind of interesting to me. Yeah, they consider it a cheese play.
Not aggressive cheese. We have a whole new passive-aggressive cheese. Is this like a French cheese or something like that?
Yeah, I guess so, French cheese.
Like Gouda cheese?
Oh, man, it must be. It's definitely not a blue cheese, though. It would be more of like a red cheese, right?
Right. But that's interesting. I've never heard Nexus first cheese, but there's plenty of Protoss players out there who say on certain maps, without a doubt, unless the Terran Empire were to proxy 2-racks them, that Nexus first is 100% safe.
Right. Yeah, and it does come down to control. I know that I've tried it before on ladder, and I just get obliterated, but that comes down to my control. And that's one thing that ChitaPrime is going to have in his favor is control over his units. Now, here comes your first two Marines. Looks like they are going to pick up one probe kill here. Probe was trying to kill that SCV in the worst of ways. It was unable to do so. Did cost him his life. ChitaPrime now has got one Zealot out on the field to deal with two Marines. See how this is going to go, but
with good micro, Zabro will be able to pick off the Zealot, especially if he brings in a third Marine and his STV. Two Zealots out now. He has to be careful. Look at this splitting, though. Look at the control out of Zabro.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's really some Brood War level play.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Here's the problem. Look at that little juke that he just pulled. I've never seen a Marine juke out a Zealot like that, but goddamn.
Yeah, he did a great job. What can I tell you? Good stuff, but ChitaPrime does hold on there pretty well. Units tab going to show that he is at 27 probes at this point to the 22 SCVs of Zabro. Zabro is securing his natural, and he does have the one mule for to make up a little bit of that difference there. It won't make up all of it, but he has now two gas out on the field. So what do you make of this play? Do you think he's just going to go into some heavy Marauder play here in just a few moments?
It's going to be pretty much standard bio. It's pretty standard follow-up. You throw down both gas right after you get your expansion up. and you throw down 2 additional racks, and then you're both gas at the same time. You're going to throw down your tech lab, start either a combat shield or stim, and that's going to be the kind of point that defines your course of action. If you get stim first, you're going to probably go into fast medevacs and be aggressive. If you get combat shield, you're probably going to go a little bit slower on the medevacs, get up a third, and then go into early ghost play. It kind of just that's what's so great about Terran is as soon as you see like that first tech lab come out and stim is going out, and see there's the factory, and I guarantee fast medevacs are going to be on the way.
Right. Yeah,
so,
smart little play there. Getting the heal down is great, as well as it opens up the opportunity for drops, which can be extremely effective against your Protoss players.
Oh yeah, against a Protoss who is going very, very greedy. I mean, throwing a forge, only has 3 gateways. Still, warp gate's still a good about 20 seconds away. Twilight Council going down as well. A lot of tech investment going around for the Protoss players. So
well, yeah, and ChitaPrime is supply block there for almost 30, well, not 30 seconds, but like 15 seconds or so, and that strikes me as a little strange that somehow he's like off of his game here all of a sudden in game number 2. I mean, it's a best of 5, but I mean, it's rare to see ChitaPrime making mistakes like that, and I think that Zabro so far has shown that he's really on top of his macro, really on top of his micro thus far with, like, we saw those Marines moving around, and I think that Zabro so far has kind of taken control of this game in many regards.
Oh, yeah. And ChitaPrime is going some amazing tech. Dude, Templar Archives is finishing up. I would not be surprised if you were to, like, get Storm right away and then go for some really heavy Zealot Archon with really early Storms. There are some
This is the build that I copy from Cheetah. It's the Charge Lot Archon build.
Yep, and there goes Storm down right away. Wow. And that's going to be really, really, really potent against Zabro's army if he does not get Ghost out really soon.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I don't know, does he have any idea that those buildings have gone down? No scans have gone down. I think as a Terran player against a Protoss who has gone Nexus first, you need to get scans down because guess what? They're going to tech out of control if they're not kept in check.
Right. And notice that Cheetah does grab his armor first. The big thing here is not getting damage on your Zealots. You want to use the Storms as your DPS and your Archons as follow-up DPS. And so Cheetah is going to go for the armor upgrade. It's going to make those Zealots much more tanky. They will be able to even take a little bit extra damage from those from the Storms and such, which really, really helps out in the engagement versus a bio ball here. And I think Cheetah's really gauging his opponent well here. And I think this is going to turn out to be a pretty nice little play.
And I will say a pause coming at Cheetah. Not sure for what, but it's 8 gates. I've noticed he's put down 8 gateways. Can you sustain this kind of? Is this a 2-base push, like a 2-base timing push? Is it a plus 2? Is it plus 2 armor or plus 1 armor or plus 1/1? Like what is the timing?
Plus 1 armor is you can push it plus 1. Most of the time you'll see him wait for plus 1. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Here's the thing: you can support 8 gates off 2 base because you're going for two. Basically a gas-heavy unit that doesn't take any minerals and a mineral-heavy unit that doesn't take any gas at all. So what ends up happening is you can pump out much more units that way off of 8 gates.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? And you have plenty of resources to do so.
Yeah, because you're distributing your resources are proper. I just thought, I mean, off of 8 gates off of 1 base, that's very, very dangerous all in. And you see that the armies are crossing the map. I don't know if this factory's seen it. Storm is done. If Zabro's not careful, he's
got it ready.
He's not going to expect Storm. Wow.
Oh man, and waiting
decimating that Terran army. He even has feedbacks on the High Templar left for those medevacs. A flank coming in from a proxy pylon.
Yep.
Wow, beautiful play coming in. And Zabro is just like, I did not expect this.
Yeah, he was.
If I ever came up against this, I would just be like, good game.
Yeah, it's so tough to deal with. And I'll tell you, charge lots early game like this are so difficult to deal with for your Terran players when they don't have those, the ghosts. They absolutely just need ghosts at this point.
He has started on his Ghost Academy. He's going to start Ghost production pretty soon. Ghost Academy's finished, but he's not going to have EMPs out because he's not going to have the Mobius reactor research, so he will not start with EMPs. It's going to be very, very... If Zabro defends this, it's going to be by the skin of his teeth, and... I mean, there's a lot of Archons, there's a lot of Zealots to soak up damage.
Well, he still has so much Storms at the ready, too. He's going to storm the daylights out of this position.
Yep. No SCV is going to be able to get in there. Zabro has to pull everything back, and they act like force fields that do damage.
Yeah, they do. They really do. I mean, it keeps those units at bay because they don't want to be up in the face of those, right underneath the storm. It's just a terrible play. Look at that storm. It just evaporates those SCVs, and he still has these Archons out on the field. Too many, I think, way too many now, Zealots on the field, too, to deal with. Look at the supply count, man. Zabro's down to 40, and there's the GG.
That's an impressive build.
Isn't that crazy?
The problem with that build, though, is I'm going to tell you right now, it's one biggest weakness. If you see that coming, any kind of early timing attack would have done something. If Zabro had done if Zabro hadn't
early
done
drop to the backside of the main, I mean, there's things that can be done. But
it seems very vulnerable. But if you get that up, it's like good luck stopping it. You're not going to.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. That is Game 1. It does go to ChitaPrime. Game 2 will be coming at you here in just a moment, so don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys here in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is going to be on MLG's Shattered Temple. We do have Windy on the line. Windy, how you doing?
Great, man. Thank you so much for having me. And looks like make a good kid, as I answered the question correctly. A Stalker does cost 125 minerals and 50 gas.
That is correct. We will get that into the system. We're gonna have a nice T-shirt drawing, just so everybody knows. That's what we're doing with the questions that you get out on the live stream. You're putting your name into the drawing for the T-shirt this Saturday during the finals of our monthly tournament, the AGL. So do show up for that. You'll want to be there for sure. The finals are going to be ridiculous, as well as you're going to have the opportunity to get some a lot of questions. We're going to have some admins that are going to sit out there and do that for us during the tournament. And we're going to try and get as many people in the drawing as possible. And then we may even give away more than one. So we'll try and make it as much fun as possible. And we'll probably do some drawings for some dollars, too. So that'll kind of mix it up.
Dollar drawings are always fun. And, dude, I have to admit, I don't know if I want to watch or if I want to cast more this weekend. I'm really torn. I'm like, well, Shamtu and Knack and Python and Aegis and everybody else, and they're really good at casting. I kind of want to watch them. I mean, Poke Bunny's going to be there. DDE's going to be there. I know I sent Avillo an invite. Zabro's got an invite. Cheetah might have an invite if he wins this. So it's going to be a pretty killer tournament. A lot of good players. I mean, it's going to be... Yeah, I'm excited. I got chills for it, man. I get them, as Artosis would say, those nerd chills.
Yeah, that's right, nerd chills. That's what I have as well. And on this particular matchup here, Zabro and ChitaPrime, so far so good in favor of Cheetah. Game number 1 did go to him there fairly convincingly with a Charge Lot Archon build. We also call that the Charge Con build. And he's showing a lot of strength so far this evening. On Shattered Temple, I'm interested to know why Zabro would choose this map. It seems to me that this is a good map for Protoss in a lot of respects. So from your perspective, Wendy, do you think this was a wise map choice here for map number 2?
Absolutely. If Zabro were to play a macro game, he can take a pretty easy third because with a Planetary Fortress at the gold, very easy to take. I mean, obviously Antigua doesn't have any gold, so there's no real advantage that Terran could take there, but there is golds on this map, so he can easily just knock down those rocks, put a Planetary Fortress there, and defend it with a Bio Army. More importantly than that, they're close by air position, so drops become even more viable by a Protoss who's out of position. If you think about it, the longer a game goes on for the Terran army, the better it is for them to drop a Protoss because Protoss is going to be forced to keep their Death Ball together. Right. So if Protoss has their Death Ball in between their third and their second, and Terran is dropping their natural and dropping their third, they're dropping their main and dropping the third at the same time, Protoss is forced to split their army, and then you can even do a little push up the middle. If Terran's really good at pulling apart the Protoss army, it could be very effective, I think. And I mean, that's just my perspective on it, but I think that's what Zabro is trying to do here. He wants to get into a macro game where he can pick apart his army.
Right. Now, ChitaPrime did open up here with a single gateway, getting his Cyber Core down as well, but going for a Nexus shortly thereafter. And it looks like Zabro thinking the same type of deal. It looks like their timings are actually fairly similar on their expansion timings. Notice Zabro putting it down right where he wants it. Not going to be bothered with flying it out. He feels like he can defend this position for now. He's tossing down a bunker, and I think that's a smart little play. But a second barracks coming out. Looks like now a third going to go down, and here comes his double gas. So standard openers, I think, all the way around thus far. And I think you're exactly right. I think this is smart. Something I wasn't actually thinking about is that maybe Zabro is trying to go for a macro game versus ChitaPrime. And it's, I think, is an extremely good point and very well made that may be exactly what Zabro's going for here.
No, it's a smart decision because if you don't think you can beat the control that ChitaPrime has demonstrated in the earlier games, I mean, if you saw him against SC Slayer, the Zerg player, you saw the control you had with his probes. Could you imagine the control you had with his units individually against like a 1-1-1? It may not be still effective. And Zabro has gone for 1-1-1 in the past when I've seen him play. So maybe he's thinking, like, I can't beat that control. I need to take it to a macro game where my strengths lie. And in StarCraft, my biggest advice to any player who's, not the tip-top, even gold or wood league, doesn't matter what league you are, play the game you're comfortable playing. Play the way you want to play. If you're good at a macro game, play a macro game.
Right.
You can always make that happen. It's just a matter of how. So I think that's what Zabro's going to do. And you can see that Cheetah's already planning to be aggressive. A proxy pylon has gone down. Sec2's warped in. There are 4 gateways. So it's going to be a 4-gateway aggression after expansion. Very smart play. 2 bunkers are there. I think he'll, at the very least, need to pull SCVs to defend. There's no Marauders out, as well as no Stim or Combat Shield. So this could, if Zabro does not respond in an appropriate manner with SCV repairs, this could end the game right here.
I agree. Really the only thing that concerns me right now for Cheetah is that he just doesn't have the amount of sentries that I would like to see here. So he's gonna have to rely on perfect force fielding here. That micro is going to be so crucial this time on this particular attack, because with the double bunkers, it's really, I mean, if he gets these too much repair down on those bunkers, and even one of them holds, that is going to hold ChitaPrime off, which means he's going to lose his forward pylons, lose that entire army potentially, and backing out is going to be difficult.
Here it goes, attack going down. Good, decent force fields to block out the SCVs. 1 bunker going down, 2 bunkers going down. I think Cheetah's going to take this right here, man. There's only 1 Marauder out. There's a ton of Zealots. The reinforcements are very, very close by. This is not good for Zabro. He's just keeping getting hit with these little bits of aggression that come at weird times. I have to admit that this, I would not expect this. You don't really see like 4-gate aggression after expansion, and I think it comes down to Zabro's lack of scouting.
Yeah. Well, I agree, and there's the GG from Zabro. I mean, it's kind of a sad thing to see in some respects. He needed, like you say, he needed to scout that. But, I mean, it is what it is, and ChitaPrime's showing still a lot of strength with his timing attacks. That's 2 games in a row. We're going to be going into game number 3 here in just a moment, so don't alt-tab. Always alt-Starcraft. We'll catch you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you. It is PSW Cheetah taking on Zabro. Game number 3 of this best of 5. And guess what? It is the match point for ChitaPrime. We've got Windy on the line. Windy, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Thank you again so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I really helped my stir craziness. It's been a long day.
Yeah, so those of you who do not know, that are just joining us, Windy has had an accident. He busted his finger, split the bone in half, and that is a no fun situation to be in. And so he is kind of out of the playing scene for just a little while, and he's going to be joining me doing a lot more casting this week, which makes us super happy.
Oh yeah, I'm ecstatic, happy to be here. You got the tournament. Don't forget the AGL Invitational is tomorrow. I've been looking forward to it all week. I've been telling all my friends who make fun of me at the bar. If you want to hear a good story, they now call me Geek Squad. All my friends now call me Geek Squad.
That's awesome.
It's well, it pretty much started out when I fixed my best friend's router. His parents were having trouble with the router. I went over and just like unplugged it and fixed it. I'm like, yep, there you go, all set up. Set him up with a password. Like, oh, thanks, Geek Squad. And I just, it's a meme that's stuck. And the Starcraft thing, it's not helping. But I'm like, you know what? At least I'm doing something I love.
There you go. Yeah, that's
true. That's what you want. Thing.
Yeah, that's what you need in life is to have at least one thing that you can love dearly. And I think that's what we've got here at ALT-Stracraft. We've got a lot of people who enjoy it, and we've kind of banded together. We're having a good old-fashioned time. And so, I mean, kicking it here in this matchup, though, I mean, moving forward, ChitaPrime 2-0 right now. Match point for him. He's got to be feeling happy. We know from a little bit of chat between games that Zabro is a little bit flustered and frustrated with the Protoss race in general right now. And I'll tell you, that's no fun. Go ahead.
I have a really good feeling about this game, though, because guess what? Cheetah is going Nexus first, and Zabro is throwing down his gas.
Ah, yeah.
So as long as Zabro plays the cards right and doesn't let Cheetah, take an easy turn or a river for some poker references out there, he could end the game really quickly. And I don't know if he's going to scout the Nexus first. Has he scouted yet? No, not yet. He will see the Nexus gone down. He'll be like, okay, I'm in a good position. I can follow through with this build. Orbital coming down. Factory should be going down any minute then. Let's see what happens.
Yep.
I hope it's a 1-1-1. Banshees are very good against Nexus first because they're so greedy. A Forge, actually. Wow. What is Cheetah doing? Is that a misplay?
He's doing this on purpose. It's going to be this is a good play against 1-1-1, actually, strangely enough, is taking the expansion and getting the Forge and getting +1 out. He gets +1 attack as well as grabs detection. So it's kind of an interesting build, and then you'll also see him probably go for his Robo here off this. Either that or he's going to go for a DT type play, which is a good possibility as well.
Yeah, and
DTs with +1 are ridiculous effective. Oh my goodness!
DTs are ridiculously effective without +1.
Yeah, that's true.
I think DTs are. I mean, I don't think DTs are overpowered at all because they're so weak and they're so hard to get to and they're so expensive. But I think they're fantastic units that they had a lot more use in Brood War, but in Starcraft 2 they've kind of fallen to the wayside because of it's easier to get detection out. I mean, granted that Zerg's Overlords were detectors and Brood Wars. Right. It's
well, I mean, the thing for DTs is that it requires micro. You can't move DTs in, then they're not cost effective at all that way.
No,
and
they require very micro intensive.
Exactly, and I think that's why you see a lot of people, transitioning out of using DTs as for their regular builds, because it requires that you micro them. And a lot of players do struggle with microing individual units like that, knowing exactly what to do and still keeping track of their economy, etc. In the background. And that's why at high-level play we get to see a lot of fireworks from DTs on a regular basis, because these guys know how to control those invisible units. They know what to do with them. And ChitaPrime is a great example of that, but he's not going for it quite yet. He does have his robotics, so I'm not going to expect DTs out of it at this point, but the robotics definitely a good play here. You're probably going to see him grab a dropship. You'll probably see him kind of get a little bit aggressive, and then shortly thereafter, once we transition into the mid game, he'll probably be going for some Colossus play.
My question here now is, can Zabro do enough damage with his Banshee? He's going to have Cloak. There's no cannons in the main mineral line. In fact, the only cannon around, which I don't even think will give detection to behind the natural mineral line, is in the front of the natural ramp. So if Zabro, as long as he's totally aware of what his opponent has out on the field,
right,
he might be able to do some significant damage and really take the game into his control. However, an Observer is coming out, but there's only 2 gateways down, and there is exactly no units with only a sentry on the way that can shoot up.
Right.
And guess what? Banshees will take out sentries pretty damn quickly. Yeah. And here comes the first Banshee. Cloak will be out. Good idea. I like moving his brains over there, check if any pylons were there to prevent any scouting. Will this Observer see? Oh, the Observer's not even staying back at home. A second one is being made, but that Banshee will get into the main. Is there any cannons there? No. Pylon just going down now, so this Banshee will be able to take out at least a couple probes. And still only a sentry out, another sentry on the way. There's not going to be a lot. And wow, fast Colossi?
Yeah, this is too fast, I think. I think Cheetah's going to find himself in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to have to transfer these probes out of here. I think this is a bad situation to leave him there. There he goes. He's going to transfer them. This buys him time to get out some more attacking units. He does have the detection necessary, so all he needs now is those stalkers to deal with this. And here comes your first stalker. It's taking a lot of extra damage, though.
Second stalker being warped in.
Oh, the stalker goes down. Brutal.
Yeah, there is an Observer there, and he needs to be careful, because with that second stalker warping in, good decision to get out of there. You should, pull the Banshee out, start poking around.
Well, that Banshee paid for itself already. It killed 2 stalkers as well as a couple probes, and I mean that's enough at this point. Wait for another.
Yeah, and there's a second Banshee in the natural actually harassing the mineral line, and no Observer over there. A Colossi is out. Does he see the Colossi? Does he know that that's coming? No, he doesn't. Has he seen? I don't even know if he saw the Robo Bay. He didn't even see the Robo Bay. He saw the facility, but not the bay, and that could be a big problem. Another stalker going down. Yeah. Banshee with 6 kills. Is that one coming back into the main? No, it's actually just poking around. 20 HP left on that. Cannon is going to finish up here relatively quickly. Looks like, an Observer has to pop out as well. He needs to get that Banshee out of position. He cannot lose them. They're so crucial at this point in time because he doesn't have a second base. He's getting tanks. This is going to be a 1-base play at Zabro. Wow, he has a lot of stuff back at home. I don't know if you've checked, but he has 3 siege tanks as well as another Banshee and a handful of Marines.
Yeah, but he's going for the push right now, and I think this is a smart play. He knows that his opponent is a little bit behind here. He's been trying to focus on getting, defenses up to deal with Banshees, and now is kind of unprepared for the tank Marine play with only just the one Colossus here to deal with the Marines. He doesn't really have any answer to the tanks yet, and that's going to be problematic. What were you saying?
Yeah, no range either for the Colossus. There's no Immortals out.
Yep, I mean, he's
the Colossus will be able to take a tank shot or two, but they'll go down pretty quick, especially with their focus fire. Range now just being started. +1 armor has finished, +1 ground weapons. But still, those Banshees can come in and harass the middle line. Look at the army supply. Look at hit control A. It's 32 supply in army for Cheetah, 54 for Zabro.
Right, yeah, he's been on target right now. Now, the only trouble here is that it is a one base all-in. And so if Cheetah does hold this off miraculously, he's going to find himself way ahead. And that's going to mean that Zabro is going to have some serious trouble. Oh, the Colossus out of position, though. That is not good news.
Yeah, siege mode isn't done. I don't know if Zabro forgot it or what it was. But
yeah, he's still waiting on it, isn't he? Not a good little deal, but the Colossus didn't take very much real damage. Looks like, nope, none. So, yeah, he should be able to recharge his
units
here
fairly
fairly
Banshees
quick.
raining hell upon in the main, though. They could oh, my God, that's a huge outpost pylon. Look at how big that pylon looks, dude.
Oh, yeah. That looks pretty tempting.
Take that off.
Yeah, I would kill that sucker.
Yeah, there he goes.
There he goes. He's doing it.
That is huge. That could cost them the game right there. All those gateways, the robotics facility, the bay, all depowered. The forge with +1 armor just 15 seconds away from being done. Another gateway is going to be depowered. This is huge for Cheetah. If he does not hold this, he is done. There's no way he's going to be survived. That tank sieging up. Marines being good splitting coming out of Zabro. Guardian shields have gone down. I don't know if Cheetah has enough. This is going to be very, very close. Oh, man, this is an Immortal is out. This is...
Look at that. Still one Colossus, though, on the field. He does hold it out just barely, but now he's got to go back in here and deal with a whole bunch of visible Banshees. Actually, their energy is quite low at this point, but still, Banshees do a heck of a lot of damage, and he doesn't have the units to deal with it.
Yeah.
He can't warp any new ones in.
Yeah, in this cave, no, he can't weapon anything. Everything's depowered. His facility has gone down. He hasn't been able to repower this. This is huge, and he's been supply blocked too. So he does have a Stargate on the way, so he will have a Phoenix, which will help immensely. But all Zabro has to do is get out one Viking, and it looks like he's just going to suicide the Banshees in favor of the Colossi. I don't necessarily agree with that decision. If he can get it, it'll be worth it. Oh, and he just barely gets it. So
I mean, it's worth it in some respects, but I agree with you. Kind of.
He gets the Immortal too with the small Marine push. He's going to maybe pick off the cannon as well. Stalker might go down. Don't forget, this Stalker does have +1 armor, so it is a little harder than a normal Stalker. But dude, that pick off that pylon was huge.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to kill the Colossus so that his Marines are safer when they come in for this next push, and which I think is probably a smart move, but. He could have held on to him and been just fine. He could have taken it out in the heat of battle, and quite frankly, that would have been just fine as well. But, I mean, he's cruising in here. He's about to unpower all these buildings on the low ground. And, this is almost completely stalled, Cheetah from producing from anything. And, he's in serious bad shape right now.
He's reduced Cheetah to one base. He hasn't been mining from his second base, so this is really smart play to Zabro. This is how you want to play a one-base play. Is like if you're going to extend this out, he has picked up the tank with the Phoenix. Smart decision there to at least take it out of the fight and help his units be a little bit more effective. Smart decision making out of there. But Zabro's just rallying units over. He has taken the second orbital command. He's not even that mined out in his main. Medevacs are now out, so drops are now possible. It could really go either way at this point. I do think Zabro has a big advantage, considering although these two tanks are out of position and they're not sieged up, one tank will go down. However, 2 Marines will help come reinforce it.
Yeah.
Ooh, this
is so interesting to me because look at Cheetah's holding on with no units here, and he's relying on pure micro to bring him through. And it's an amazing feat of strength here. I don't think it's quite going to be enough in the end because Zabro's play here has just been phenomenal. I think that we really see the strength, and this is part of the reason why ChitaPrime is a professional player, a guy who literally makes his living from playing Starcraft. And he's really, really well done here, and he never gives up too. It's another cool thing.
Yeah, but things are kind of going back into Cheetah's favor, though. Zabro has taken more of a defensive position, although Cheetah's going to push right up into siege tanks as well as this Phoenix, so doing some pretty significant damage there, forcing him to fall back. I definitely think Zabro should push out at this point, take some map control, because he's going to need it. He's almost mined out of his main. His natural is probably going to go down pretty quick because of all those mules on it.
Right.
He does have medevacs being produced. Does he have any Vikings to do with the Colossi there? I don't know if Colossi are still being pumped out. No, War Prism's coming out as well as the Void Ray. Interesting combination, but I just think because Zabro's production facilities are greater in number than Cheetah's, he's going to be able to macro out of this, but we'll see what happens. I mean, this could really go either way.
Yeah, this is the trouble with letting ChitaPrime live when you've got him slaughtered. And I think it came... you know what? I'm going to make a slight risk, take a slight risk here, and say that I think it came down to Zabro sacrificing his 4 Banshees
for the
Colossus. I really think that was a bad play now, because when he came for a repush, he just didn't have the units necessary to keep keep Cheetah guessing and scrambling to try and get units in. I think he should have kept those guys alive. They were so much more useful, taking out pylons up in the main.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cheetah does have a sentry drop going into the main of Zabro, as well as taking a 3rd base. Zabro executing a little bit of map control. He needs to be careful. This sentry drop could... well, there's not too many workers here. There's not a lot of mineral patches, so I don't know if it's going to do enough damage. I mean, sentries don't have that high DPS against structures.
Right.
So let's see what happens here. And wow, he
Cheetah's in trouble. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This push is scary, scary, scary. Zabro's way ahead in the army here. He's got a lot better tech pattern. And with this many Marauders, he should be able to take this down. But, you can never tell against Cheetah. He's just one of those guys that... How in the world did he live through the first push? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and now Zabro has a good composition. A few tanks mixed in with the bio composition, with stim, with combat shield, with concussive shells. Even with a Colossi out, that's going to go down very quickly. I think Zabro has this game. The drop in the main, however, is still going on. Some zealots are running around. A sentry is tickling away at a reactor, a refinery. There is a small bio force that's going to be able to clean it up, so that's going to be the end of it. And GT well played coming out of Cheetah, and I have to say, well played is the only thing I could apply to that game.
Yeah.
That was a marvelous game.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily that Cheetah gave it to him either. He did make maybe a few small mistakes early game, but when it comes down to it, Zabro is the one who controlled this game. It was just good play that took down this game for him. I mean, it may have gone down sooner if he had kept those guys alive, but the Banshees alive, but still he did take down the win. That's got to make him feel a lot better. Now we're going to be headed into game number 4, so don't alt-tab, always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action continuing here. It is going to be on GSL's Daybreak. Game number 4, it is currently 2-1 in favor of ChitaPrime. He's taking on Zabro, but we've got Wendy still on the line with us. We are having a good old time in this little final series here. How you doing, Wendy?
I'm doing good, man. It's the series is what 2-1 in favor of Cheetah, right? After Zabro's miraculous. That was a good game last game, man. There's no other words. That's probably one of the best games I've ever seen played.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, he kept the pressure on. Cheetah still, was able to hold on for a very long time with pure out and out, unsolicited or whatever you want to call it, micro, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think Cheetah, given the nature of this map, it's a huge map, so hard, long rush distances. Very not favorable to proxies. Do you think Cheetah's just going to say, I'm going to go Nexus first, man?
I would assume so. I'm going to assume that he is going to go for a Nexus first. He tends to like that play. He loves his economic plays. Very rarely do you see Cheetah comfortable on one-base builds. I've only seen a few in the tournaments, and it's just the way that he tends to play. He's so good with his micro and so good with his metagaming and so good with keeping his units and controlled and keeping his resources low. And so that's what he wants to go for, is mid to late game plays where he is super strong.
Yep, bro, looks like a gateway has gone down, so it will not be a Nexus first. I have to compliment them. Look at this chrono boost expenditure. Like, I don't know if you've shown that on screen, I've been watching it. Take note, like all players of all leagues, he's using that chrono boost right after it's done. Not like there's nothing to do in this early game, so watch your chrono boost. Get it down so crisp so you get those little tiny advantages that when that big push comes and you have an extra 2 stalkers in there because you used your chrono boost a little bit one after another, you'll be grateful. You'll be grateful for it.
Going down. Yeah, I think that's a great point, Wendy, is that people, when you watch a game like this and you're a player who's still learning to get yourself up into that master level or grandmaster level, these are the guys that, number one, you can take advice from. You want to be watching the small things that they do, and Wendy makes a great point. This is a game where things begin to add up to make one large.
Yeah, it's pretty much small, tiny independent instances that amount to one large significant instance.
Exactly.
In a later point in time. And that's it's like a lot like chess. People say Starcraft is live action chess. It's fast paced. It's little things that add up. And if you think about it, the first move you make with your pawn can make a huge difference 27 moves later when you go to checkmate as king. And that proxy barracks has gone down. It's going to be proxy marauders, both reactor on the one in the main. I kind of like this play. If she just sees a reactor, he's going to think 1-1-1. He's not going to expect marauders at all. So he may go down a tech path that he may not necessarily want to go down in response to this. River Bay has gone down. So
how does he guess that? That's what gets me. It's like his metagaming astounds me sometimes, because this is a perfect play against marauders, is to go ahead and get this robotics out. As long as he doesn't overcommit here, to go for a drop or something, then maybe that could catch him off guard. But yeah, I mean, Zabro's making a smart play here. It will come down to timings and obviously down to the micro, but Cheetah's not in terrible shape and gearing up for this push. He is going to see it coming. He's got it, this tower. He sees one Marine headed that way. He's going to go ahead and start to back out, but he knows his opponent's going to put pressure on him, so he knows to look out for units. So we'll see him probably pick up a couple units here and there, and he's going to grab an observer first.
Sentry coming out, so he will be able to force field. Second gateway going down. I don't know if a third is going to go down. There is an SCV in the main, though. If he were to throw down like a bunker or something so that he gets high ground, and that's what he's going to do. And this is going to be huge. He could end the game right here. There's not enough units out. Workgate is not done. Proxy Marauders, dude. Proxy Marauders so good.
Yeah, and this is big. Unpowering this robotics very quickly. Oh, he didn't quite finish it there, but look how many units there are. And look at Cheetah's having to pull all of his probes just to try and take this down. He's trying to get a surround on these guys to force the engagement. Take him down as quickly as he can, but this is perfect for Zabro. It's giving him time to complete his bunker. And all of the probes are now dead, so, I mean, yeah, I'm looking for the GG.
Yep, wow. Zabro pulling it out, man. 2-2. That's impressive. I mean, I feel like GSO's Daybreak is not a great map for proxies, but they happen, and they happen often enough. You have to be aware that they're always a possibility. Yeah. I think, in the sense that they're not great, is simply because if they're scouted, well, guess what? It jigs up. Like, it's not going to work.
Right, yeah, exactly. Good point. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Game number 5, the ace match, will be coming at you here in just a moment. It will be on GSL's Crevasse, says ChitaPrime, so catch you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Snack. We've got that live tournament action. It will be concluding here on GSL's Crevasse. It was ChitaPrime's map choice, and quite honestly, I'm liking this map choice quite a bit. He's going to see what he can do against Zabro, a very difficult Terran player who's gone 2 games in a row here to even the score. Man, this is brutal play, and we do have Windy on the line, I must mention. Windy, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. After those last 2 games from Zabro and the first 2 games of the Cheetah, this has been a fantastic series. There's nothing short of stellar play coming out of both high-level players. Yep. And I love the map choice of the Cheetah. It's known that he likes going Nexus first. He can pull that easy Nexus on his base because he'll be able to get out the Nexus, get out quick sentries, and just force field and protect himself from the Terran player. Any kind of aggression will be just kind of nullified. So we'll see what Zabro does in response to that.
Yeah, we'll see. Cheetah is going to go for his pylon here right next to the Nexus, keeping everything close for now, which is always it's a pretty decent idea. Usually, you very rarely see those Protoss players wall off versus the Terran. I mean, there are times to do it where you want to try and keep a scout out of your base, but generally all that does is just force the Terran player to use a scan to get their scout out, right?
I think walling off for Terran does a couple different things. It's if you want to look at the really micro instances, the really idiosyncratic economy of it, it's that if you build a supply depot right on your gas so you can lower it and you get that super close supply depot positioning, you're going to get a little bit of economy so you can get your buildings a little bit faster. Right. And that kind of depends on what kind of build you're going for. If you're going for an aggressive build, that could definitely play into it. That means you can have 1 to 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 Marines more when that push comes out. Right. When you put it at the front of your base, you sacrifice a bit of economy because you have to worry about the travel distance, and you have to worry about the SCV not being able to go back and then go back to the middle line, then go back to the position to build the barracks. So you kind of have to have the trade-off there. I think if you're going to play a macro game, I think putting it at the front of your base is a great decision because you prevent any kind of DTs from getting in your base or any kind of early rushes. And second barracks coming out.
Yeah.
Looks like Zabro wants to go aggressive, balls to the wall already, and that might not be a bad decision. There are destructible debris at the base of the ramp, so that ramp will not last forever with force fields. And Zabro will be last to scout. Looks like both players will be last to scout, unless Zabro decides for whatever reason your cross spawns. It looks like he's not doing that. So we'll see. Wow, 3 racks coming out of Zabro.
Yeah.
No gas though.
We're gonna see
4 racks.
Wow.
4 racks. It's like 2 6 racks all in. I've seen you do this. Do you remember Hero versus Puma in the was it Nasal or was it DreamHack? I think it was DreamHack, where Puma went like 6 racks on Terminus and just all in Hero, who went Nexus first, and it worked like a charm. I think it was definitely Terminus. I'm pretty sure it was DreamHack, and everybody was like, "That's the kind of things you need to pull out in this level of play." You really do, and I love Zabro's decision making here. I really
4
do.
racks. I mean, this is going to be hardcore pressure. It looks like he's going to start moving out across the field here right now. Cheetah, did he catch wind of that? I can't tell if he saw the movement or not.
He hasn't even scouted where Zabro is. He does now know because of what's going on.
Yeah, process of elimination. He knows what's going on,
and he's going to see this probe, so he will be able to cut off a lot of information from Cheetah, who only has a Zealot out. Doesn't he have any sentries? He has 2 Stalkers being chrono boosted out, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Yeah, he's going to need some sentries. He needs to toss down his second gas here right now and probably another gateway and really start beefing up his his army, because here comes a lot of Marines. Notice they're going to take out these destructible rocks. Yeah, he's going to pull everything. He's taking out these destructible rocks, and he is going, not everything, he's pulling half of it. So this is kind of an all-in some respects, but Zabro, as long as he's able to get decent amount of damage done here, this is a cost-effective strategy. And I think that shortening this rush distance here by taking those rocks out is a smart play.
This could be really bad for Cheetah, though. He's completely circumvented the army of Zabro. Zabro's full army is just pushing into the main. He's going to be able to take out these Zealots. I don't know what Cheetah's going to do. Does he pull back, or does he kind of go for a base strike with only a few units? I think he has to pull back into the main. Marines are going to town and everything. If they target down the Cybernetics core and Warpgate cannot get out, he should go for the pylon, I think.
Yeah, I think he should go for the pylon. Cheetah is going to try and buy himself time here. He's kiting around. This is great control, but he's going to put that pylon at risk, and he cannot afford to lose that right now.
Yep, the pylon goes down. Warpgate is just mere moments away, but 15 seconds away from finishing. I don't think this will be game-ending for Cheetah. I don't know. It's quite possible. He can't get any more units. If Zabro is able to rally over more Marines than he is, and wow, Zabro is able to take this away from Cheetah. This is unreal.
It is. This is absolutely just what a critical push that Zabro is putting out here on Cheetah, and Cheetah just caught off guard again. 3 games in a row, Cheetah having trouble with Zabro springing little traps on him here and there.
Oh my god, he denies a warp gate again, just 7 seconds away from finishing. If he was able to get that out and warp it, maybe 2 more Stalkers, he will be able to clean it up, thankfully for that second Nexus, but yeah. I don't know. This could have been game-ending right there and then. He's pushed back a lot of attack.
I mean, Cheetah, the nice thing for Cheetah is how much he's probed up the entire time. And he's going to try and stay as aggressive with these Stalkers as possible, but he can't lose them. Oh, see, a little bit of misstepping there is going to cost him a couple Stalkers. He cannot afford these right now. And looks like his Warp Gate technology is about to complete, so we're going to see a warp in here in just a moment. But, man, this economy for Cheetah is barely going to be holding on. We've got double the mules now out on the field. And Zabro's in great shape here, I think.
Yeah, Zabro has turned down his expansion, so he's going to try to macro out of this. This could be... If he does a follow-up push that's aggressive enough and does enough damage to Cheetah, he will be able to take the game. But I feel like if he lets it go on any further than 2 bases for him, Cheetah's going to be able to macro back and just win it. I like his positioning on the Marines, though. I think he's going for more aggression. He's pulled more SCVs. He has about another 15 Marines here, so he's just going to go for aggression. He needs to be careful, though. If they get cut by... Oh, no! The sentry's throwing down a very late force field, not a good one. 2 sentries going down. A third there's no energy left. A bunker going down as well. Once these other Marines are able to get up, this could be very bad. Is Zabro rallying over more? He is rallying over more Marines.
Cheetah he's taking his time. He's playing it cool, but he just does not have the defenses to hold on here. And if this bunker does complete, man, he is in sore shape.
Yeah, this could be really bad. If this bunker goes down, it's going to be really tough. And this is just such heavy aggression coming out of Zabro. It's really tough to deal with this if you're unprepared for it. I mean, delaying that warp gate tech for so long, Zabro needs to be careful. These Marines are unupgraded, so they die very quickly to probe assault.
Yeah, and nice thing for Cheetah is he did deny the bunker just at the very last second there. He killed it off with a Zealot and is now getting in just enough warp-ins to probably be able to stave this off. And that's a nice thing for him because guess what? Economically, he's in pretty decent shape, man, because Zabro's been pulling a lot of SCVs to make this stuff happen, and he's down to 16 SCVs. Now, the nice thing for Zabro is he is on 2 base, but Cheetah is at 35 probes, and this is what I was talking about, man. If you let Cheetah live, you are going to end up being pretty have to do a heck of a lot of work just to pull out a win, man, and that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah,
Zabro
needs to be careful.
Yeah, he's mounting the amount of work that he's going to have to do to eventually take this win down.
Yeah, and Cheetah has a pretty significant supply advantage. Granted that the army is not in the army, but in these low unit counts, Protoss armies are so effective, especially against unupgraded Marines. I think Zabro should realize that, okay, it's kind of evened out now. I need to fall back. I need a macro. I need to come up with a better, more a higher tech push because this just isn't cutting it.
Right.
He is starting to make SCVs again. He has thrown down gas. He's thrown guys in both geysers. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I really think a stim. If he were to go for if he had started stim much earlier, I think he would have been able to have it out by now and be able to do a stim timing push to kill off Cheetah, because it's very important to know in these kind of aggressive pushes that Zabro is doing, especially as a Terran player, when to stop being aggressive and to fall back and tech a little bit and make your set of units so much powerful. Infantry upgrades scale so well, +1/+1 scales well.
Yep.
Combat shield and stim, and he is getting stim, so I think if he were to stay on all these Marines, and if he could just pump out a ton of Marines with stim, and he micros them really well against Cheetah's army, he will be able to end it, because Cheetah only... Does he have... Oh, he has robotics spike going down.
Just barely putting it down. And we do have stim going down as well, which I think is absolutely crucial now for Zabro. He's going to need to make these guys somehow more effective versus those stalkers and zealots. And so far, I mean, Cheetah has just... time and time again been making this happen with pure, unadulterated micro. We'll come up with a new word to describe it every time.
We'll call it really badass micro. That's the only thing I can really think to describe it. It's unreal how good his micro was in that situation. That it rivals something of Liquid Hero or EG's Hawk. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, I put him up there, absolutely, right in their league. I mean, he's ranked 9 on the North American server, GM.
Okay, that's
ChitaPrime.
pretty.
And he's ranked top 25 on the Korean server as a GM.
That's nothing to scoff at. That's for sure.
I mean, it takes an inordinate amount of work. It just lets you know how serious ChitaPrime is about making this stuff happen.
Yeah.
And every single time I see him play it, I'm never displeased. I'll tell you, even though I wasn't personally displeased, I'll tell you, there's a lot of people displeased with Cheetah once. I don't know if you know this story or not, but he was playing C Calms, and C Calms obliterated him in a best of 3 in game number 1. And then game numbers 2 and 3, ChitaPrime went he went cannon rush 2 games in a row for the win.
Hey man, there's a lot of some people in chat were talking about cheese before, and I think I'm not sure it was, but they were talking about like what cheese is and like Banshees of cheese. I'm like, cheese is anything that uses the basis of luck to win. Like if the foundation of your push, your attack, your whatever it may be is luck, it's considered cheese. You know what I mean? Because there's no strategies taken out of it, skill is taken out of it. It's purely on luck.
Yep.
Cannon rushing has become something of punishing poor scouting.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And here comes another push from Zabro. 2 medevacs with this, as well as stim and combat shield. Concussive shells will finish by the time it's up. Are there any Colossi out? There are 2 Colossi on the way, as well as...
Yeah,
one is pop.
big. Here comes a drop up to the top base there. Looks like a couple warp-ins there for Cheetah. Should be able to deal with that. He does have that Colossus in position there as well. I don't know, man. And notice that he's taking a 3rd base in that hidden position. I want to mention that this could mean from Cheetah that we're going to see some high temps come out on the field here in just a little bit, but he definitely needs the gas.
Yeah, it's not a rich Vespian gas around this edition, which is interesting. I thought it was, but apparently it's not. That's pretty significant. He does have War Prism full of zealots all the way in the north too. It hasn't done anything.
He's ready. He's waiting for his opponent to start attacking him, and then he's going to go for the drop. Or either that, or he's going to go for it here in just a moment. He did move it forward there a little bit, but He does have that other base. It is up and running. He's grabbing that Vespene Geyser. It's rich, isn't it? Yeah, it's a plain Vespene Geyser.
They're normal. That's why I said I was kind of surprised. I mean, supply's pretty even now. Worker count, it's 44 to 43. Terran definitely has advantage with mules, but
here comes another drop from Zabro too, and he's going to try and hit this backside up again. But notice that Cheetah put down those photon cannons, man. I think his defenses here are going to stand because his warp ins are going to be at the ready. Moves his probes away immediately.
Yeah, and that's pretty much saying ChitaPrime is confident that the push he's going to do right now is going to be game ending, and I think it will.
Well, he's up air dropping. He's gonna go right for this front entrance here. Zabro is in a lot of trouble right now, I think.
Oh, he's stimming up. He forced a pretty good stim. That's pretty significant. He wasn't even to get a few zealots. Good idea to run a few units forward there.
Absolutely, and looks like Cheetah is going to go ahead and sack this base. I think is a smart play. It's just buying him time. He's like, I've got this other base set up. I'll go ahead and transfer these guys over. I'll move in. I basically moved from 2 base to 2 base there, and I get to attack a less than maxed out army from Zabro because he just doesn't have all the units that he needs here.
Yeah, SCV is coming off the line for Zabro. Vikings, only one Viking remains. Only 2 Colossi remain, though. If Zabro can hold this, it may be pretty significant, although I think he'll have a false sense of lead because of that second base. And Cheetah, I think, will take this. Wow, he cleans everything up. The second Colossi going down, but how many workers are left? 10 SCVs left after that. 29 to 82 supply. This is a game for Zabro. It's so well fought.
Well, it has to be.
So well fought.
Here comes the reinforcements. He's got an Immortal in here now. This guy's going to rip through the buildings like it's his job. He still has this Warp Prism and 4 Zealots up on the high ground. I'd love to see him utilizing those. Looks like he may have forgotten them there, but yeah. I mean, Cheetah's on 2 base when Zabro really thinks that he's on 1. Oh, man, this is absolutely brutal. Looks like Zabro is going to try and drop the supply line here. I don't know.
Yeah, trying to do something. One more on him.
I mean, how do you hold on? You've got nothing mining right now if you're Zabro. He's 14 supply. Ouch. I mean, and he was so close to coming back, man.
Yeah, that was a really hard fought game out of Zabro in the beginning. It just that aggression, and I think the problem was you see this a lot with ZVZ, with Ling Baneling aggression. Is like if you don't stop in soon enough time frame, you're going to end up doing a lot more damage to yourself. And it's going to be harder to transition out of it. He does have a lot of full energy orbitals. If he were to land them, he's filling a lot of his buildings. Looks like he wants to fight this to the bitter end. That Immortal looks like a cleanup that a Marine and Marauder that were trying to do damage in the mineral line. Cheetah has his second mining base. It's pretty well saturated. Guys are in gas. Has he reclaimed his natural? No, he has not reclaimed his north natural.
Well, I mean, at this point, Zabro's going to give it one last concerted effort here. I mean, it is, a pretty decent cash prize on the line here, as well as he would love to have a second invite code that he could give away, to the AGL. But, I mean, this is such a difficult position to be in. He's trying to produce as many defensive units as he possibly can, but all it is now is a matter of time. If Cheetah figures out where his opponent is here quickly enough, that is a scenario.
He knows.
Oh, yeah, he did. He just flew the Warp Prism right over top of it, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. And here comes that huge Zealot pack as well as some Stalkers, and I believe there's some, I don't know if there's any Colossi. No Colossi left. A couple of Immortals out, though. And they do have 1-1, so this is going to be game right here. This whole 3 medevacs are left, and GG out of Zabro. And there you go, ChitaPrime, our victor, and our last winner, right? Last invitation code winner?
That is correct. He has got the last invitation code. Boy, he was sure cutting it close, man.
Those were good games. Zabro has nothing to be ashamed of.
No,
that was some fantastic play.
He's still a winner. He's still a winner in this sense because, I mean, he gets a cash prize, number 1. He's already got an invite code to the AGL, so he's in phenomenal shape. Yes, he's down an extra $10 after tonight, comparatively to taking the first place prize, but still phenomenal play from Zabro. Definitely deserves his second place prize here. ChitaPrime, congratulations to him. We'll be excited to seeing both of these guys in the AGL. It will begin tomorrow night. Don't alt-tab, always alt-Starcraft, and many thanks to my co-caster and friend for the evening. It has been Windy. Windy, last words?
Thank you so much, John, for having me on here.
Absolutely.
See you guys tomorrow night for the Invitational. It's going to be a great time. Don't forget, DDE is signed up. Poke Bunny is signed up. I know it's in a villain invite. We're going to have Zabro will be there. Cheetah is going to be there. A lot of good players tomorrow, man. I'm not sure if I want to cast or if I want to watch. Like, I'm really torn. Really torn.
That's good stuff. All right, well, we'll see you guys later.